Testing, testing. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Getting ready to start the webinar very shortly. And what you're seeing are some sample website designs from ICI World. Now, of course, all these beautiful websites are only as good as the amount of traffic that you get to your website. If you don't have traffic coming to your website, what good is a beautiful website design? These presentations are part of the splash presentations from ICI World, and we're just giving you a little flavor of what they look like and can look like. There's 1,000 different designs, and because they're HTML, you can almost make them look any way you wish. But we're going to show you the strategy of all this in a moment. Today's session is brought to you by ICI World. We've been on the internet for over 20 years, and we're going to try to help every licensed real estate broker and salesperson in the world learn how to promote your website, search engine optimization, and more. And we're actually getting underway. We also have another webinar that we have called Understanding and How to Use the Powers of the Internet. For all brokers in the world, we're going to show you how to register for these things. You simply go to the main website of ICIWorld.com. You'll see it up here at the top, ICIWorld.com. And then you click on For Members. For Members also really means also for brokers. And when you click on that, this screen comes up, and you'll see that you can come down here, and there's two webinars, one called Register Monthly, how to promote your website is this one right here. You just click on it. It's a free presentation for all realtors in the world, in North America, United States, and Canada, and the rest of the world, and also Mastering the Powers of the Internet. And it teaches you how to work exclusive information that you cannot work on real estate boards, which really increases dramatically the income of real estate brokers and salespeople when you learn how to work exclusive information properly in conjunction with your real estate licensing body. I know in the province of Ontario, it's called the Real Estate Council of Ontario. All right, so let's get underway. I'm basically have been a broker for over 40 years, but the last 20 I have not been spent selling real estate. We've been building this service for the world. Back in the olden days, this seems like olden days for me. I've been the chairman of the Hamilton Happening, a citywide celebration. I was the president of the Junior Chamber of Commerce, and we ran a citywide celebration where we had I don't know, if there was 35 to 40,000 people attending a great big celebration event that was a year in the making, working in conjunction with with our committee from the Junior Chamber of Commerce, the JCs. And from that, it really gave me the feeling that I could do things of a world significance. And so we built the ICI World sort of out of this. And I've also been the chairman of the International CCIM Commercial Real Estate World Conference, held back in 1999 at the Westin Harbor Castle Hotel, where we had almost 500 delegates, one of the largest internationally attended events for commercial real estate in the world. And from learning from all the other brokers that were on the committees, all the different things that you can learn, it's not just one way to promote anything. And there's different reasons that people attend different events, and there's different reasons why people will visit your website. And we're going to try to cover a lot of different ideas. Basically, there's over 40 ways to promote your website. It's not just one way. Now, if you want to get to the top of the search engine within 48 hours, I'm going to give it to you right now, right off the bat. And we've got many of these tips throughout this particular presentation that will help you. And it's called the pay-per-click advertising. You can actually get pay-per-click advertising right now called Google AdWords. Look it up, Google AdWords on the internet. Open up an account. And you can pay, and I'm going to use an example of 50 cents a click. If you paid 50 cents a click and you had a budget, theoretically, of $100, that gives you basically 200 clicks at 50 cents a click. And you can actually, and if it happens to be $1 a click for your particular area, it could be more or less for your area. In large cities, it can go up to $1, $2, and $3 a click in large cities, and whether it be New York or Los Angeles or Toronto or some other cities in Vancouver, etc. But then in smaller centers, it's very low. You can sometimes find there's no one advertising in your market area, in which case you can go to 10 or 20 cents a click, and you could be at the top of the search engine within 48 hours and prevalent number one at the top of the search engines in your market area. And the very next person that searches real estate in your area, they go to your website. And this is one thing everyone should learn today. Your website must be set up properly to trigger leads for you, because there's different things you're going to learn today that if your website's not set up properly, you could spend as much money as you want and you may still not be getting calls. And we're going to be covering that a little later in today's session. So yeah, we've been learning a lot of things since 1994. We were actually the first service ICR World on the internet for real estate in 1994, and it's been growing steadily ever since. We've been a nonprofit corporation for many years, not by design, but it's the dream of growing a larger service, and there's many challenges facing growing a service like this, but it's wonderful now. We've literally become a society of real estate brokers and salespeople that are networking information on the internet, and it's just working out wonderfully for many of the brokers. You really must read the testimonials. Whatever you do, see the testimonials. And I'm going to click on them right now because I want people to know, and I want all the, and this is on for the benefit of all of our existing members, to let them know that there's a big following in the world for all of their listings. And when these people are putting listings on the screen, they're looking to do business to support their families and their businesses, etc. And all of these people are gathering information in the marketplace and networking exclusive information. It's not just real estate board listings that can make you money, but you can also make money with exclusive information. And every one of these deals has been done from exclusive information. So if you have a website and you don't have exclusive information on it, then you're sort of missing out on things that can trigger leads from your website. If these brokers put listings onto ICI World and they say that they agree to allow them to be on your website, you should have them on your website, because there's something special that we do. We make it so that the public must contact you personally if it's your website that the listings from all these brokers are on. And then when you get a call on one of these and somebody says, I'm interested in a 16-suite apartment building on your website, you can get a hold of, and if it happened to be Al Darcy's listing, you call Al and say, Al, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral fee okay with you? You should all be triggering leads to do referrals. It's fabulous. It's wonderful. It's like a doctor's office. People are coming in, and if they have a particular problem, say with their ear, nose, or throat, that doctor refers them to an ear, nose, or throat doctor from doing a referral. And you're going to do the same thing. If somebody comes to your website and they see a 16-suite apartment building and you don't want to deal in it because you're residential, or maybe you're doing commercial, or maybe it's not in the area because this gentleman could be in one area of the world and you're in another area of the world, you just simply call them up and do a referral. Now, the best one we know of is someone who's done 15 referrals triggered from these kinds of leads, and that's a total of 75 minutes of that person's time. They actually made $45,000 doing that. So you can do that if you have the special listings on your website. So one of the reasons we're doing this free, these kind of how to promote your website, is to promote their service that is providing listings for your website that trigger the leads. So it's really kind of a win-win situation for everyone involved. So you can come by, read all of these deals going on your own time. Nobody else will probably tell you about this stuff except us, and this is the only place you're going to hear it in the world, probably just from listening to this particular session, if you happen to be catching it, or maybe you'll catch it later on someplace else. Hopefully more people will hear about this stuff. Okay, let's go right back to our presentation and continue on. Actually, let's go down here. So yeah, we've attended also world search engine conventions in the world, and we spent $4,000 attending one that where we're going to learn what we call the top 9 items. And you can mark this down on a pad of paper. You should not leave this session today until you've got these top 9 items written down. You should have a pad of paper and a pencil and write down numbers 1 to 9 underneath each other. And I'm going to go through each item. This is absolutely essential. Now, whether you have a website, whether it's with us or whether you have a website with another 40 different website companies that are out there today. And there's 40 website companies that we work with on a regular basis supplying our special widgets for their website. And what I'm sharing with you today, these 9 items, can be done with every single website in the world, no matter what company you're with. You can have a $1 or $99 GoDaddy website. You can have expensive websites. It doesn't matter what you've got. This works for every website in the world. And when you talk to your website people over these things, you can go over with them and they can help you with those things, getting those all instituted. Now, you'll notice there's an ICIWorld.mobi on here. You should actually add that to your mobile phone, and you can listen to YouTube videos directly from your phone. Now, if you listen to the YouTube videos, which is how to promote your website, because this will be put on YouTube at a later time, all of our videos that are on YouTube are still applicable to this day, right from day one. It's just amazing how consistent and constant a lot of the stuff and the tools we're making for the industry, except we're adding the new cutting edge tools each time, and we're improving different things that trigger leads. If we see something where we could say withhold a tiny piece of information, all of a sudden it triggers leads for you, we're going to kind of do those kinds of things, because it becomes a win-win situation for the public, because a lot of this exclusive information will not be prevalent unless we do it this way. And that means for the public, there's a lot more information that's available for them to choose from that is exclusive, not on real estate boards. And that way, the public gets the best of both worlds. They get the best of real estate board services from the realtors that are on our service, and they get the best of basically a national database of exclusive information provided by the ICI World Society of Real Estate Brokers and Salespeople, who specialize in networking, exclusive information, advertising their listings on mobile devices and computers, basically to people in 138 countries on a regular basis. So our pledge, we do have a commitment to your success. If you are not generating leads every 90 days, and either doing a deal or generating, triggering leads every 90 days from the stuff that you do when you are a member of ICI World, you must give us a call. You measure your success 90 days. If you're not triggering leads, you must get back to us and give us a chance to work with you. And we always seem to find things that brokers simply missed because you haven't been concentrating on this part of your business until you're listening to this particular service here. But there's a lot of money to be made, as you saw there. And the return on investment, you can't even calculate. How do you calculate return on investment for a $319 a year membership? And people are making 50 and 102 and 500,000, and some brokers have made over $1 million here for a 319 investment. You see, because the information is the gold that is on the internet. One piece of information can make you a lot of money. One piece of land, you know, that's like a $20 million piece of land. All of a sudden you make a connection, bingo, you go and sell it and you can make a lot of money. And that goes for small stuff and the big stuff. We recommend that you go to ICI World and search out all our global media. I'm going to just click on it now, and you should definitely, I only put items that can help you make money, and you'll see that there's Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and LinkedIn. All of these things you should connect with ICI World. Make it a point to connect with all of these items. Otherwise, you can be missing out on tips and tricks during the year. So while you're enjoying Facebook and all the interesting things that are going on there, once in a while we'll put something in there that can help you kind of make money. And the same thing is true with Twitter and stuff like that. And so make sure that you take advantage. We also have a world newspaper here too. I think it's down here a little bit further. Let's see what's happening. You'll find the world newspaper. It'll be on our website here someplace. There it is right there. Subscribe to receive the world newspaper right here. And when you do, it comes out Saturday morning. And you can read the newspaper on Saturday morning, and I'm going to recommend that you click on business, and when you do, you're going to find articles of interest for every single person that deals in real estate in the world. You will find articles of interest. I've sort of looked at a lot of services out there, and we're getting some of these wonderful, wonderful services. We're subscribing to have them on our newspaper that we share with everyone in the world. So we recommend that you subscribe to the newspaper. It's a culmination of things. It'll zero in on your short time that you have to do these kind of things, on the very things that will help you in your real estate practice. Everything we do at the ICR World Institute of our society of real estate brokers and salespeople is designed to help real estate brokers take full advantage of the internet at the lowest possible cost, and we don't even deem it a cost. Once you've done a deal, it's no longer a cost. It was an investment that you made a lot of money on, and that's what we want every single member to benefit from this kind of stuff. Okay. And that's our newspaper. If you don't subscribe to it and you just trudge on, that's fine. But we're just making these tools available to you so that you can take advantage of them. And we've worked 20 years developing these tools for you to kind of make them work. And these are literally the best possible. There's some of my background just so that you can get an idea of who's putting on this particular webinar. And we're approaching the whole industry from a broker's point of view. This is not being approached from just, sell a website and make profit on websites and stuff like that. This is what is the best for real estate in their brokerage's office. If you turn around in your swivel chair, everything in your office is costing you money. Well, you've got to kind of bring in money. And so a lot of these different things are designed to bring you in money by providing good services to the public. And they say that it's not just realtors that help you the best. It's realtors with technology that can really help the customers the best. And so you can see that we've been in real estate for over 40 years and have learned a little bit over the last, since 1994 from being on the internet through the School of Hard Knocks, what works and what doesn't work. One good example was right up through till 1998. People were not clicking on banners. They didn't know to click on a banner. As soon as we put a little statement underneath the banner, please click here or on the banner, all of a sudden that broker started to trigger leads for himself. Can you imagine that? It took us a year to kind of learn that when it came up for renewal. Why didn't you make any money? They don't know. I didn't know. So I examined it and say, oh, people weren't clicking on the banner. So there's a lot of little things that sometimes people are doing or not doing, and we have to examine it. If you're not triggering leads, and there's 3.5 billion people out here on the internet, and you're not getting leads, there is something wrong. We suggest you make an appointment. Whether you're a member or not, we can actually give you some kind of advice if you like and counsel, and also we would like advice from you too back for us. So it's a win-win situation. We're trying to help. I'll show you how to make the appointment because this is very important. You can drop issues or you can follow up. And the best follow-up I suggest is make an appointment right up here. It's at the top of ICIWorld.com. You just come in there and you click on make an appointment. You do not even call our office. You just click on 60 minutes on the internet and then you select a day and you'll see I've got 3 times it left on Tuesday, a 10, a 12, and a 1 p.m. If that's not suitable, you just pick another day. Now, no matter where in the world you are located, you can change your time zone here and make it anything you want. And you can see there's time zones for all over the world. So no matter where you're located in the world, you can be making an appointment with us to kind of do this stuff. And we really appreciate it. By the way, in passing, there's different things that are going on each time. There happens to be an open house. This particular one is in Oshawa, Ontario. And it's an open house and there's a lot of prizes. And it happens to be some new condo units or commercial units, sorry, for lease, and ICI will be attending this particular event. There's about $5,000 in door prizes, and if you missed that event, it happens to be July the 27th on a Thursday of 2017. Now, you might be listening to this a year or 2, 3, 4, 5 from now because all of these videos still apply. This particular event, we want to let you know that if you have an event upcoming, get a hold of us and maybe we can help promote it as well. We got 20,000 emails going out a day. We also have an industry-wide email that goes out monthly to a different 20,000 as well. Okay, so there's a lot of excitement going forward for that event coming up. And so, yeah, we founded this service back in the 1994 area. Even before then, it was a bulletin board, and it was in response to a question, how do you network information? And websites become one of the most powerful features that every single broker and salesperson should have in the world, and we're going to help you. Now, all of these different social media are also used to help promote your website because you can have a fan page on Facebook, for instance, and when people visit your website, they should be able to see your website and go to it. And so all of your family members that maybe don't visit your website or look at your business very often, they can actually go and inspect it and see that, oh my God, look at this. You can search the MLS listings on your website. You can search the exclusive listings on your website. You got commercial, you got residential, you got slideshow displays, you got color photos. When you have all of this on your website, that shows that you have access to all the information, lists of buyers and all that kind of thing. And you'll have that if you have some of the widgets from ICI World. And then they'll say, boy, you're really plugged into the marketplace. That's another way of triggering leads for you. So if you have an office, invite us into your office. We do have sponsorship programs that if you get someone to join during the year for $319, your membership is reduced to $240. If you can invite us to come in and speak at your office, there's a little credit there for you also joining ICI World. We add 3 months onto your membership for theoretically each person that you sponsor to join ICI World. So if you got 4 people during the year to join ICI World, you can actually have a year free membership. And the new person joining can get a benefit because they don't have to pay the $319 to join. They could join for $240 and save $79, 25%. And if they mention your name, they have to mention your name, and then we'll send you an email the same day they join so you know that they did join. Now, why promote with a passion? Well, the reason is the highest return on investment of any industry on the internet is for real estate. And so if you have one lead that's triggered from somebody calls you on a little $1 million property and you happen to sell it, you can make $25,000 just for the selling end alone. So one lead can actually make you a lot of money, and it's providing a great service to the public because maybe they might not have otherwise found out about it. And when you think about it, the majority of people, and basically up to 90% of the people, are searching for real estate on the internet at one time or another. And if you can get them to go through your website, one lead can and is making real estate people a lot of money. So this is your business. This is your office building on the internet, where there's 3.5 billion people, and we're going to be showing you how to get more and more traffic to your website. Like, I'll give you one example. If you put your running shoes on and it's nice and warm day, go from business to business in your downtown business district, wherever that may be, and hand out your business card and say, I happen to be a realtor working in the area and just thought I'd drop in and say hello, introduce myself, let you know I'm in real estate if you're ever thinking of buying or selling a business or a commercial building or a residential home. If you're moving at all, please feel free to give me a call and check out our services. We're here to kind of help you every day. And in the meantime, you pull out your mobile phone and you show them your website. And you show them how they can search both MLS listings and exclusive listings on your personal mobile phone, and they can search the exclusive ones as well as the ones on your real estate board. That's fantastic. That is competitive edge in the marketplace. And you show them how to add your mobile website to their mobile phone so they can search on their phone. Now, a mobile website is different from an app. An app uses up resources. A link to a mobile website uses up zero resources, no resources. And so they're more likely to maybe add a little shortcut than to maybe add the app that sometimes people have so many apps it drains their phone by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so a lot of times I will choose a mobile application of some service because it's a shortcut, not an app. So depending on what it is. So even though ICI World has apps, some people prefer the app, and that's great. We have both. You can do both. So this is a website marketing plan. This is one of the major things that you should learn today. It's a strategy to make you #1 in your whole community, because can you imagine if you have everybody in your community all had your mobile website on their mobile phone? Woo-hoo! Now, why would they keep it on their phone when all realtors have, maybe they're going to eventually all have mobile website? All realtors belong to a real estate board, so that's a common service. What's going to separate you is going to be some of the other things that you can add in terms of relevant information that they can search daily for homes in their area, namely the exclusive listings that are not on real estate boards that are in their area. So you are going to have ties to exclusive information that other brokers have been willing to share on your personal website. And what's special about it, nobody can click on them. They have to call you. Homes coming for sale. This is exciting. And you tell people when they call you, listen, once I get the listing signed, then I can call you back. And you kind of go from there. We'll show you how to handle that in that other seminar called How to Work Exclusive Information. Now, mark this down on a pad of paper. Everyone should have a pad of paper marked down. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually add an internet links form. Hang on one second, see if I can kind of do this real quick. So we've just given you a link to a form called an internet links worksheet that you can mark down various things. And let me just go back this one page here. And you should mark this down. You can hardly see it on the screen. It's called iciworld.com/ and the word race. This is for the races on to get your mobile website onto the phones of everybody you know before the other brokers do. And that way you have a competitive advantage in the world to them. Now the benefit to all your customers and whoever's got it is they're going to have more choices than any other realtors. And in addition, they find out about exclusive opportunities that are not on real estate boards. And you know, sometimes you find out 2 years later, after you've sold a home to somebody, that they bought a home from somebody else. And it's because you basically maybe never kept in touch with them. Well, this is a way of keeping in touch by having your mobile website on their phone. It's beautiful. Permanently on their phone. It's a permanent presence. In fact, if they have a friend who's maybe looking for real estate, they pull up their mobile phone and say, here, we can search right now and see beautiful color photos and slideshow displays. And that person should add your mobile website onto their phone, compliments of one of your customers. So you can really get it spreading in the neighborhood. And all of our members on ICI World, all of the Society of Real Estate Brokers and Salespeople should have all of their mobile websites on all the phones of everyone that they know and all their sphere of influence, their colleagues, families, friends, acquaintances, business associates. Everyone should get the mobile website onto their customers' phones. Now, a checklist to mobilize to make sure that you are doing the best. When you have, links to listings is actually a key for residential and commercial. And you can have actually not just one link for the MLS service, but you can have many more links to residential and commercial listings on your website. Now, I know if you're in residential, you don't want to have commercial, and commercial people don't want to have residential, but there's a problem there because all the people buying all these commercial buildings live in $1 million homes, and the people that live in $1 million homes also work at commercial businesses. And so we're suggesting that if you're a residential specialist, you highlight residential first, but you have these other links. And if people are not interested in it, they just don't click on them. That's all. But you should have a residential button and a commercial button with all the choices underneath to search real estate. And when you have that, somebody might be interested in commercial. They might call you on a shopping center or an apartment building, a piece of land or a business or something. And next thing you know, you get the call. And if you're a residential person and they say, can you help me? You're going to say, yes, I can help you. I will have someone call you back. You are going to call that other broker who's got that listing and do a referral. Now, if I'm going a little bit fast speaking here today, don't worry. When you get started, as long as you understand a little bit of what's going on, that there's some major cutting-edge technology tools that the industry is not using. They're just not using a lot of these tools yet. It's just exciting, and I'm seeing it here, and I'm sometimes wondering, why isn't there a major rush to come into ICI World when I got all these tools? But I think people are overwhelmed with information. Everybody's suffering information overload. I try to talk to people. I'll call you back. Even during a call, they're getting interrupted. And because they don't totally understand it, they put it off until later. And it's not till later that they find out. And I'm getting brokers coming back now and say, Gary, I should have been doing this a year ago, 2 years ago. Oh my God. You know, they're sort of waking up and smelling the roses. But, you know, that's part of our challenge, that maybe we haven't reached them. But we're out there and we're spending money on advertising. We're on the front page of all the major trade publications in Ontario, 300,000 readership. One person sees iciworld.mobi, which is a mobile website. They go and see your listing. They give you a call. You hop in a car and you go make $20,000. It actually can happen. But if you don't, you know, marketing is like fishing. If you don't put the line in the water, you have no chance to catch a fish. Marketing is like that. You've got to do certain kinds of marketing in order to trigger a response from people. And we back up our marketing with our 3-month pledge. If you're not doing deals every 3 months or triggering leads every 3 months, you give us a call and we're going to help you with this stuff. On this session now, it's sometimes too quick, fast, and it's hard to understand. So that's why we say make an appointment. I've already shown you how to do that. You go to iSailWorld.com, click on make an appointment, and we will go through this stuff one-on-one with you. Book your times. There's only 1-2 times available, sometimes per day, but get yourself in there and we will help you. Do not call our office on a regular basis, please. When you have 1,000 members, they call the office. Now, when you get a website from us, if you get one of our websites, we do have calling in services that you can call in for certain things for that. But let's continue on. So the websites that we supply, people say, oh, I don't have time to go to my website every day. There's a misunderstanding. You just have to do it once a month for about 5 or 10 minutes. Once a month to have an office building on the internet where there's 3.5 billion people that you can trigger leads, 5 to 10 minutes a month, the most powerful tool of the internet? Come on now. Think about it. People are triggering leads. We got one guy that's working smarter, not hotter, who made 45 grand with 15 referrals. What about you? You got to do at least 1 referral, 2 referrals. You got to be doing this stuff every 3 months or you're not up to speed. It's like a Model T Ford. It conks out. It's like a flat tire in your car. You don't abandon the car. You get the tire fixed. Give us a call. Give us a chance to work with you. Get in and study some of these tools. That's all brand new. We're learning the whole real estate business. We're reinventing ourselves all the time. Get yourself at least 5 photos. You must log in, do your to-do list in the websites that we supply, and check with your own internet service provider, not your service provider, sorry, your website designer. Check with your website designer. Is there anything else you can be doing to promote your website? Do you know they maybe have a list of the things that you could be doing? And you could be doing them and you start to work it into your business. Adding a resource center is another way to generate business. If you have all the resources in your community, so if somebody comes to your community and says, listen, I'm just moving in, I'm out of the area, who do I call for hydro, for gas? Where's the city hall? What about the police department? What about the community centers? What about the shopping centers? What about the sports teams? How can I sign my kids up for such and such an activity for soccer? All of these kinds of things can be resources on your website. And you can have unlimited resources on the websites that we supply. And people click on a resource center and bingo, they can go to how to calculate land transfer tax. All of these kind of things. How much a rough idea of lawyers' fees? What can I expect that might be charged for? Those kinds of things. How about a moving day checklist? How about how do realtors help? All of those can be links on your website, which can help your customers understand your business, help them move. Any question that a customer ever asks you, you can have a nice resource for that on your website. And so sometime if people want a longer explanation, you show them how to go to your website, and because your website is mobilized, they can do it on their phone while they're talking to you on another phone, and then you tell them where to go to get the information. They're going to say, I love it, thank you so much, there it is. Makes it so easy. It makes the whole business so much easier when you can have these resources on your website, and that will bring people back to your website. How about the events that are happening this weekend in your community? Why not have that as a link on your website? And when people want to go and find, what's going on in your community, go to my website and click on resources and go down to events. Bingo. They can see it. So yeah, I'm giving you creative ideas to do these things. And for members on ICI World, we have a list of about 100 different types of links that you can be putting on your website. Now, without listings, why should people call you? That is the strength of ICI World. We are an aggregator of listings and exclusive information in the world. It's not just the website company. Most website companies will take the IDX link from your local real estate board and install it. And that is wonderful. It's good. Everyone should have it so people can search it. And you should have it. If you don't have it, you're missing out. All brokers should have that. But in addition to that, there should be some links where maybe people can't see the address, because if they can see the address, like real estate board listings, it's possible that they might drive by the property first, and if they see the listing and they see the for sale sign on the front of the property, It's possible they might call the other broker instead of calling you, and you could actually be triggering leads and helping other brokers do deals, and you're not making any money. Well, you still need that. However, what you do need are some listings where people must call you, because if a person's looking at an exclusive listing, $1 million home, and it could be in Mississauga, Orlando, or San Diego, or any place, and it's got a double car garage, ground level family room near a shopping mall, and overlooking a ravine lot or something, you know, they are going to be interested in that if it's in their area and their price range. So when people call you on the listings from ICI World, it's actually pretty well qualified when you think about it, because what's happening is the $1 million home that they're interested in, they're going to want to find out what it's all about, because they don't want to overlook the home of their dreams. So you'll get a call on something like that. And that's what this is all about. So driving traffic to your website and having some listings that are not on real estate boards that people can't click on, that can ensure that you can be triggering leads from your website. This includes both commercial and residential listings, includes MLS and exclusive listings. And the concept of structuring to hide the address and contacts, your website should be structured first in order to trigger the leads. Some people just race out, start to promote their website, spend money, and then they find out they're not getting the leads. Why? Because it's possible they might be seeing addresses on your website, and then they're driving by the properties first and calling the other broker. Whereas if you have this alongside of that, if you're not getting calls on any of the leads for some reason from all the listings, it's really not because of the widgets or the listings. It's really because you have little or no traffic to your website, which this is all about. So some people just strictly concentrate on how to promote your website, you know, put it on here, advertise there, and do your search engine optimization. And they still wonder why they're not getting leads, and they get disenchanted with the whole thing about websites, when in actual fact, having some listings that where they can't click on that will trigger leads, it becomes absolutely inevitable for people to trigger leads when you do this. Okay, so now what are the samples of some listings that you could have on your website? Now, whatever it says GTA, Greater Toronto Area, you can put your community in here. Greater Montreal, Greater Vancouver, Greater Orlando, Greater Los Angeles, Greater Chicago, Greater whatever. You can have homes and condos on your website right today with the websites that we supply. We're working with a company that has over 300,000 real estate people and real estate salespeople and brokers using these websites in North America, and there are listings in every single city on the websites that we supply. So no matter what state or province you're in, we can supply you listings in your community on your website, and we can structure them in a way that you can get the calls. And they're going to come with color photos and slideshow displays. You'll have another button that from My Haves and Wants, which are the exclusive listings that you might put on ICI World. Yes, you can advertise your real estate board listings, but most of you only have 1, 2, or 3 listings. That's it. That's the studies that I've done from doing seminars from Florida to California to Vancouver to Montreal and all places in between. The average real estate broker has less than 1 or 2 listings on a real estate board, and a lot of them have 0 listings on a real estate board. But with exclusive information, every one of you should have a minimum of 15, because there's all kinds of information in your marketplace that you can make money on, such as the FSBOs who are saying, listen, I want to sell my own property, but if you bring me a buyer, I'll pay you a commission. Well, people, that is a piece of information. There's a way to work that kind of information on ICI World to trigger a lead, which is every bit as powerful and money-making as having a regular listing on a real estate board, because a listing on a real estate board is on the internet. It triggers a lead. They call you if it's your listing, you go show it, and you make $30,000. Well, if you can have a piece of information that you can put on the internet in a very special way on ICI World, we recommend you don't do it until you've had our training program, so that you don't get in trouble with your own registrar or real estate council or registration licensing body, because there are certain rules and requirements, such as with the Real Estate Council of Ontario, that you must have the consent of the owner in writing if you are going to give an address or identify a property. But if you simply say $1 million home in Mississauga area, a ground level family room, double car garage, etc., you're not giving the address, that's a different story. That's called networking information, which we've been doing now for over 20 years. All commercial real estate people have been doing it since the beginning of time, where they might have a lawyer who knows about a certain shopping center, one of his customers, and if you have a buyer, give me a call, we'll put you in contact and see if we can do a deal. That's what ICI World is all about, helping people put in contact with all these potential opportunities out there from people. Well, you should have all of these kinds of things in your, just substitute, wherever you see Ontario, substitute your state or province. Now the FSBOs, that's another one. You can actually have these on your website. We have a private FSBO area that only the members of ICI World can access the contact information. We are a society of real estate brokers and salespeople to serve the public. By doing it this way, we can actually network exclusive information industry-wide in a very specialized fashion. And we invite you to really kind of check it out and get involved and try it out. You can join for as little as $40 per month, and there's no long-term commitment when you do it, $40 a month. And then if you want to do it by the year, it's $319 for the year, and it's unlimited ads for the year. It includes all the widgets for your website, etc. Now, we install all of these things for you. We help you set up the fact that when you do place a listing on your real estate board, it can automatically go onto your website, and that's assuming that your real estate board is set up to do these kinds of things. Now, if it's not set up, we'll actually show you what you can do to go back to your real estate board, and we're suggesting, and we've had real estate boards to start to adopt these kind of services from certain vendors that are in the marketplace doing it, and they're providing great services. So now you can be sending people to your own website to search for real estate all the time. You don't send them anyplace else. You don't send them to ICI World. You don't even send them to your real estate board service. You send them to your own real estate website where they can see all the listings on your particular real estate board. Okay, let's move on. Links to listings you should have on your website, and you'll see an average with ICI World members. You can have 6 links on your website. No matter what website you have, you can have these links on your website. And you just need one call from one person to trigger a lead for you, and bingo, you can be doing a deal and making money. It's the content that triggers leads, structured in the way that you get the calls. It's like having classified ads on your website in a way that you get the calls. Now, the reasons why you're not getting leads, there they are. And that's why we suggest you got to have a session. If you're not triggering leads every 90 days, you must give us a call. There's so many things you might not know. If they're framed, people don't even know what framing is. Framing is when you have like 3 sections of a website and only one section shows at a time within your website. And if it's not done properly, it's not going to work. And today, with the SSL certificates and what's going on, things are not showing up within frames unless the other website is also a secure website with an SSL certificate. Now, I know I'm talking about things that some of you don't know. That's why you need to consult us. If you have a problem with your car, you take it to a mechanic and you get it fixed. And if it's not going, that's why you take it to a mechanic. Same thing, if you have a health problem, you go to a doctor to make yourself keep going in the marketplace as a human being. And the same thing is true for ICI World and your website and your use of the internet. And you need to give us a call. If you're not triggering leads off the internet in any way, shape, or form, give us a call. That's what we've been specializing in for so many years, for the last 20 years. Give us a call and give us a chance to help you. We've had our challenges through the year too, and things are changing drastically every year. So don't think that just because it was one way at one time when the Model T Ford first came out, it's not the same way today. They are changing on a regular basis. In our case, we are a real estate broker society. We're not designers specializing in the most optimum $30,000 website design. We're doing it on the basis of what triggers leads, and it's the content that is triggering leads. Fortunately, we have a very wonderful company that we work with where we have beautifully graphic design websites already made. And you can change the photos on it. If you have a picture of a residential home, it makes your website look residential. If you have a picture of commercial, it makes your website look commercial. And they're $16.50. It blows people away how you can be doing it for $16.50 for a website, and it's actually free. It's free for 1 month. If you don't like it, you don't have to keep it. And if you want to keep it, then it's basically $199 per year, or which if you divide it by 12, it works out to $16.50. Let's continue on here. Now we have various references, and it has a lot to do with domain names. You need to structure a domain name, and I'm not going to be answering the phones here because we're going to stay with you here. But a domain name, I'd like you to mark this down, that your domain name should contain your location by city and the word real estate. So if you happen to be in Stony Creek, Ontario, you should have Stony Creek realestate.com if you could get it. Now you and I know it's probably already taken a long time ago. You're too late. It's like the yellow pages. Whoever gets the names first, get them. And if you're just thinking about something in your area and nobody else has got it, you got a chance to do it. Your own city or village or town realestate.com. That should be a no-brainer. Now, if you can't get Stony Creek realestate.com, you could go stonycreekrealestateinfo.com, stonycreekrealestatehelp.com, stonycreekrealestatesomething.com, or you could go buy real estate in stonycreek.com. Those kinds of things you can do to change it so that you get the word real estate and Stony Creek in your domain name. When Google searches, what's really happening is somebody searching for Stony Creek real estate. If they find that in your domain name, you know, maybe 5,000 websites come up or 2,000 websites come up on the screen right away because it's got those things in your domain name. So number one on your piece of paper that you should have done at the beginning of the session, if you haven't, you can do it now. Mark down 1 to 9 underneath each other. Number one is domain names. Get the word real estate in your domain. Now, second thing is you should also have your own personal name as a domain name as well. So you can have 1, 2, 3 domain names all pointed to the same website. And the beauty of that is if your name happens to be, you know, Joe Smith, joesmith.com can be a domain name. You give that out to everybody you know. And if people forget what your website address, tell them go to yourname.com. And that's it. They go right to your website. They don't even have to write it down. They can remember it. Make sure you try to get it on their phones too. So the page title should also contain vancouverrealestate.com. It should be in your page title as well. It should also be in the meta description and the meta keyword. So there's the first 4 items that you're attending today's service for. On this particular webinar or listening to this at a later time. The first one is domain names. Get the whatever town that you're in and the word real estate. So kansascityrealestate.com should be there. And the same thing in the page title, the same thing in the meta description, and the same thing in the meta keywords. Get that in there. And that's why sometimes people can have more than one website, because websites are like billboards. You can have more than one website. And if you want to optimize one area town and maybe another town that you're in, it almost needs different websites or different pages within the same website that allows a domain name to go to an individual page. Again, if you want to talk about this stuff later, just make an appointment with us and kind of do that. So those are the first 4, and we're going to cover the next 5 in the next few minutes here. Now, YouTube videos, you can play them on your computer. We've got them, and we've got other videos how to promote your website. Go to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is available on the internet. Where can you find it? Well, let me show you real quick. The YouTube channel will give you resources that you can go to. You click on ICIWorld.com, you click on For Members, and right in the middle of the page, you're going to find the ICI World's educational YouTube channel, and you click on it, and bingo, up comes our videos that we're recording. And you can visit them at any time. And you can play them at your own speed. Learn how to turn the sound up and down. Learn how to pause and start. Learn how to make them full screen. So in other words, when you click on one of these things, you open it up, and bingo, it opens up. And then if you want to pause it, you click on this particular pause button down here. You click on the make it full screen down here and click on reduce it down here. And then that's how you control it. And you can click on the sound up here to make the sound more or less. Okay, learn how to do that to make it nice and comfortable for you to kind of listen to these things. nothing but designing tips and tricks and ideas and cutting edge technology for real estate people. That's all we do, trying to help you do this stuff. So you're going to need a little bit of patience listening to us, because sometimes it's not like Dancing with the Stars where every moment is, and you know, the top talents in the world where you listen to all these programs on TV. It's really making money with real estate tools, internet real estate tools and concepts and ideas. I'm not going to go into this resources, but there's a whole list of resources for you to go into. Today's session is to give you a solid overview of what you can be doing, and you can follow up on it at another time. I'm not going to go click on resources right now because I've concentrated. Every seminar and webinar that we record, we concentrate on something a little bit different. And today I'm just going to move on, but I'm giving you the links. If you don't go and study these, there are lead generation resources in this iciworld.com/resources. Write it down on that internet worksheet. That internet worksheet, by the way, if you open up your GoToMeeting control panel, you can print it out. You can see that it's a document that I made available for you to sort of take notes on. Let's move on. There they are, people. There's one of the keys. Right now, I told you about the domain name. You want to have your city, MississaugaRealEstate.com, Mississauga Real Estate for you, the number 4, the letter U.com, those kinds of things. And then people can maybe remember it and go to it. Page title. You should have Mississauga Real Estate in there, and make sure you've got it, meta description and the keywords, put it all in there. And believe it or not, this is one of the things that cost us $4,000 to attend a World Search Engine Convention, to learn that highlight the first sentence on the page in bold. Can you believe that? Welcome to Mississauga Real Estate, your source in real estate. That should be on the first sentence. So Google, they go in and they check your domain name, and maybe they find, and in the case of Mississauga, they might find 100,000 results. And they find it in the page title, Mississauga Real Estate. Maybe it's down to 50,000 results. And then you also put it in the meta description. Maybe it's down to, you're the only one that's done it, so you're down to 20,000 results. And you put it in the keywords, and maybe you're down to 8,000 results, but you highlight it on the first sentence in your page, and maybe you're down to 900 results. And then if you register your domain name for 10 years and somebody else only registered it for 1, and they've got all these first 5, you got all these first 5 done, and they don't have the 6th one done, your page is going to come up ahead of them. Now, is this etched in stone? No, because Google is changing their algorithms every week. And they added the mobile function when mobility came in. If your website is mobilized, then the websites we supply from ICI World are mobilized, then you will come up on top of other people that don't have it. And then if you have your social media links with Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and Google Plus and all that kind of stuff, if you have those on your website and showing and linked, and Google says, oh, there's the checklist. They got all of these 7 items. Then they've got the 4 social media items, actually 11 links, because I put just social media into this one link, but there's actually a whole bunch of them. Bingo, you have a chance of coming up in a natural, organic fashion without having to pay any money. But if you want to get to the top of the search engine within 48 hours, you actually can use pay per click. There it is. There's the top items for you to kind of get up there to the top of the search engines. Link references. There are link references here. How to market your website from point 2. How to promote your website. You can print it out. And there's some other things. Search engine optimization from Google. Those are links that you can visit. We're going to wind it down and summarize right now for the next few minutes because we're going to be finishing in about 13 minutes here. It becomes very profitable to drive traffic to your website. You can be doing referrals and direct business. And it starts with how you hand out your business card. When you hand out your business card, you just don't tell people you just have a website. If you're sitting at a table and there happens to be some developers and builders sitting around a table and there's 2 real estate people, one hands out his business cards, says, I've got a website, visit my website, I got lots of listings. But the other person hands out his business card and says, I have over 150 development infill sites around the city of Toronto and the Greater Toronto area that are exclusive, that are not on real estate boards. But I've also got, MLS listings on my website, and you hand those out at a table. Those builders will all want to take your card because you've got information that's not only on real estate boards, but also exclusive. So you got to tell them what's on your website. It's like having a shoe store. Come on to my shoe store, I got some shoes. It's one thing to say that, but if you tell them, the new models that you've got or the kinds of shoes that you've got, it's like a computer store. If you've got something new in stock and it's summer, September, and we've got some major discounts on laptop computers and tabloids and all this, all the tablets and all this kind of stuff, then you're going to attract people. So you got to talk about that you've got power of sales on your website. You got hotels, motels, gas stations, restaurants. You've got land, development land. You've got you got lists of buyers. You've got color photos and slides. You got to tell them all this stuff. If you don't tell them that stuff, you're missing out on getting people excited about visiting your business, your office building on the internet is what you got to be trying to get passionate about and market to the world. Get them excited to go there anytime there's real estate. And then get them to put your website on their mobile phone. Tell them what they can do with it and show them how they can search. You take their phone and help them install it. Show them how they can push the button here and a button there and pull up all the listings. And did you know that you can get people to subscribe to receive new listings by email that match the description of what they're looking for? So if you do an open house this weekend, you should have 2 or 3 iPhones, or not iPhones, but what do you call them? The bigger iPhones. You think I can even remember it? I'm holding one in my hand. I can't remember the darn thing. Anyways, have them all on your kitchen table and let them program themselves to receive listings so that they can receive listings from your website directly to them whenever they become available. And then 2 weeks from now, whenever somebody happens to maybe get a listing by email from your website, they can actually give you a call and you can go show it to them and make $15,000 as a result of getting them subscribed from an open house 2 weeks previous to that, but only if you subscribe them to receive listings. Now, you and I know that your real estate board service you can subscribe people that receive listings, but they cannot send out the exclusive listings that the websites that we supply from ICR World can do. So there's some major competitive advantages here. When you put an ad in a newspaper, why not put at the bottom of the ad your website, but don't just say your website. Let them know that you've got thousands of ads with color photos and slideshow displays, commercial and residential, on your website and exclusive listings. Let them know that, and they might just want to visit your website because of that. We've gone through this already. The big 8 is getting a keyword-rich domain name. We've talked about that. And there are some other tips there, domain names. Placing keywords in your meta tags and the description, very, very important. So we've covered that. Every single website has these kinds of terms because that's what Google searches. They send out spiders crawling the internet, searching for these terms and put them into their indexes, which work very fast and work fabulous. Pay-per-click, you get to the very top literally within 48 hours. This explains a little bit more about it. Pause the screen if you're seeing it on a review. And listening to it. This is going to be on the internet in YouTube a little bit later, and then you can see it, and then you can, pause it, stop it, think about it, how you can do it, get ideas from it. And here's some money for you, free, $75 to $100. Ask for $100, and your very first program with Google can actually be free because you listened to this particular webinar today. And we're letting you know you can open up a Google AdWords account and ask for free ads. There it is. There's also, they will give you a search tool on what some of the best terms to kind of be advertising for on the internet and suggested pay-per-click per each one. And you can try out different things. But this is where 3.5 billion people are on the internet and people that are searching. If you pay $1 for a click, and somebody, when your website comes up, when somebody searches your area and it's $1 a click, there's no cost for your website to be advertised. Zero cost to be advertised. It's not until someone clicks on the link to your website that you get charged. And you should be happy to pay $1 if somebody is searching for real estate in your particular community, no matter where you are, Dallas, you could be any place at all, and somebody goes to your website and they search for listings, and you've got listings, and they click on the listing and they call you and they want to go see that listing tomorrow night, and you sell it and you make $13,000 or $30,000, you should be happy that you paid the $1 to make that kind of money. The beauty of it is you don't have to pay the $1 unless somebody clicks and goes to your website. It's beautiful. It's like almost, you can't say guarantee to sell it because you might not sell it, for various reasons. But you should be getting the leads. There it is. And there's an AdWords helper. They're going to help you with all of this stuff. Websites are like billboards. You can have more than one. So yes, you can have a website from us for $16.50. And you can get all the help for all of your websites from us when you subscribe to our service, because we help you with all of your websites. There's different ways that people have triggered leads in the past and continue today. If you're listed in your local economic development office for your city, people from around the world that visit the embassies can actually access those kinds of places through the embassies if they're immigrating to your area. And if you're listed as a real estate person in that area, and if you have a LinkedIn account, for instance, they can go and check who you are before they even talk to you. And you can make connections that way to trigger leads for you and your business. You can do email. You make sure that whenever you send out an email to somebody that you put your website address at the bottom of the email. It's in the signature file. Make sure that you do these kinds of things. There's some other ways. We're just going to finish off now. And make sure that you have all of these social media working with your website on it. This LinkedIn profile, you should have your website listed. You should have how long you've been in real estate, have some testimonials, have what organizations you belong to. You belong to the Canadian or Real Estate Association, belong to the National Association of Realtors, Orange County Real Estate in Florida or California, the Toronto Real Estate Board. Let them know all of the designations and places that you are registered for to be a professional in the business. And that way, when they want to buy real estate, they're going to have more confidence and faith in dealing with you because you've been around for a long time, and that there's codes of ethics and conducts for all of these different memberships that you have to adhere to, and it gives them an element of security and confidence to deal with you. Literally invite everybody to visit your website and put it on their phone. Study the keywords. It can be very important. And it's not just the major cities you should actually optimize. If you have a small district that you work, like, for instance, Meadowvale, and if you work that district quite regularly, you can optimize those keywords for a special page within your website. And if your website permits it, like some of the ones from ICI World do, allows to have a domain name to a district or neighborhood that people will search. It's not going to get the million hits. It's going to get maybe a couple of thousand, but you only need 1 or 2 to make some sales in that area for that month. So you can be concentrating on the lower trafficked areas, but have a response that people want to zero in on those areas. Don't try to trick the search engines. There's various reasons. If you try to do it, you can get bounced out. I'm not going to go into giving examples of that. And there are keyword suggestion tools that you can subscribe to, but start with the Google one. Linking to other websites and having them linked to you builds up credence in with Google to have people have you come up in the search engines of the world. Building reciprocal links on all these other different various areas can actually, again, give more credibility to your website. We do have a 22-minute presentation on domain names. You'll find it in our videos on YouTube. It's the ICI World YouTube channel, if you can find it. Set up an appointment anytime, and we'll really help do some consultation for you and with you. And we really love hearing your feedback. Did you benefit from this particular webinar today, where we take our time and effort to go out here for you? And in consideration, we really love your feedback. Even if you're listening to this 2-3 years from now, or 2 to 3, 4 days or months from now, if you listen to it, please do send us an email. We really love hearing from you. You can send it to customerservice@iciworld.com. Really love hearing back from you. Okay, there's articles on click fraud. I'm not going to get into that. Our pledge, no member should go longer than 90 days without doing business a deal, or at the very minimum, developing a good business relationship with someone that you feel will lead to doing business someday. Otherwise, give us a call. We have a checklist to check anybody that's not doing deals, and we always seem to find people in the checklist. And if you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of things, ask us to go through the material defects checklist for you. There's your $100. Feedback survey. We really love your feedback. For people that are listening to it today, you're going to be able to have a chance to fill out the survey. For the other people, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a document right now. I think we can add this document right now. I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to go to the handouts and see if I can do it right while we're recording. I'm going to add the document handout. It's called an evaluation sheet. If you don't mind filling it in and sending us a PDF file, just go to write it out. And if you know how to scan it and send us a PDF file, I've just put it into the window of GoToMeeting, and hopefully it's going to pop up as handouts. And if you could fill that in, we really would appreciate it. In consideration of today's session, send us an email. You can scan that and send it to us as a PDF file if you know how to do that, and send it to us. We really appreciate that in consideration of us taking our time out today to kind of do this. Every month we do this for you to help the information in the industry grow forward and help you to use information in the industry for the best use of the internet. That completes our session for today. I'm going to leave our contact name and number on the screen if you wish to call us at any time, but we do recommend that you simply make an appointment when you're ready, and there's our contact information. And I'll leave that here for about 20 seconds, and then we're going to sign off and say thank you very much for the opportunity to allow us to help you as the manager of our service. We invite you to participate, network with all the other real estate professionals that are on the service, and do business with them. And please let us know when you do deals. We really love hearing about them. You'll see the testimonials right up here. You can click on that later and read about all the testimonials going on to show you that you can be doing business. Every broker and salesperson can be doing exclusive real estate business in the industry in addition to the real estate board, and you can actually, I think you can be doing a lot more than what you're presently doing. And I've seen it because I'm in a unique position to see thousands of brokers, helping them. We are an assistant to brokers and salespeople worldwide, even though we've been in the business for over 40 years. Please consider us as a personal marketing and information assistant. Everything we're doing are simply suggestions for you to take advantage of it. For people that are listening and know how to promote websites, we invite you to become a speaker with us. I invite you to become a presenter in this particular meeting, and that we're going to be having more like presenters in the future along with us, talking about all of these various aspects of the business. Have a great weekend, a great day, and a great life. All the best to you, and we're now signing off. Thank you for the opportunity to be of service.